Greetings, my name is Shaquille Johnson, current head boy of Wolmer's Boys School. Today, we're here to talk to Principal Dr. Walton Small. Dr. Small has been principal for 11 years. Dr. Small, thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Now, tell us, what do you base your leadership on?
I base my leadership on three main principles. One, I'm a God-fearing person, and therefore I'm guided by the verse in the Bible, James 3 verse 1, that says, not many of us are called to be teachers because on that day, you're going to be judged at a stricter level. I take it very, very seriously, and therefore I want at the end of the day, when I'm called to give an account of my stewardship, I will hear from the Lord, welcome, you have done well, and therefore that has guided me over the years. The second principle that I base my leadership on is that of balancing the needs of the individuals that work in the organization as against the needs of the organization. It's extremely important to me that whatever I'm asking the workers to do, that they understand that I care about their needs, but at the same time they also understand that I care about the needs of the organization.
Right.
So I try to find that balance.
So the balance is important.
Organization is okay and the workers are okay. And the third principle on which I base my leadership is that of team. I believe that when everyone is involved in the development and decision making, that everybody will be more inclined to ensure that it happens.
True.
Therefore, I rely on the trust, the board of management, the PTA, the subcommittee, the student council, Old Boys Association, the individuals and organizations. I take information from everybody to make sure that my decisions are made there.
So, sir, your legacy will precede you as a principal who has really revamped the infrastructure of the school. Somewhere they have mentioned the multi-purpose courts, the building of the third form block, the solarization of the school, the building of the auditorium, which we now sit in, the digital board at the entrance of the school, the paving of the ring road. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, for me, I believe that if we expect teachers and students to feel comfortable in an environment, then wherever they work, the workplace must be presentable. And with that in mind, there are a number of things that we had to do. So when I came here the first time and I walked into the bathrooms, I was not pleased. So I called the PTA together and said, is this what you want your children to go into? And I can tell you, they responded. And today, the bathrooms at Wolmer's Boys School, some of the best across the country. And I must say, congratulations to the boys for taking care of it. I know they do some little things now and then, but they have taken care of it over the years, and I'm very happy about that. The third form block is one of them that is close to me. It came about because we had expanded the sixth form, and there was not enough space. We had to create at least 6 more classrooms. We identified the going on top of the second form block. That would give us 6. There was some cynicism about it because I remember one of our senior members, Mr. Sankofa, he indicated that I've been here from 1983 and I've never seen anything like that. If you do it, I'll buy you a bottle of what do you call that nice ladies drink. Can somebody remember what the name of the bail is, right? So we started out the journey in July, and we were able to finish in October. I was extremely pleased with that because it took some serious work. Now, all the students are housed with independent classrooms, so I'm happy about that. The auditorium is another one that I really am happy about. The students, when I saw them in the sun, out in the open at devotions, it's something that bothered me. And what bothered me most is when we have visitors and they come and they say the boys are restless, and I'm like, under my breath, do you see that they're standing outside in the sun? And for me, when Mr. Orion presented the opportunity, and he said, if you had one project to improve on the quality of the school, what would you want? And I said, the auditorium. Take the boys out of the sun. And they said, hey, that will be done. The solarization of the school is another important one, and I'm sure that we're going to see some significant benefits from this. We are spending some serious monies on electricity, millions of dollars. Can you imagine the savings that we're going to have now, where that money now can be now invested in programs within the school? Those are some of the infrastructural work that really I am proud about. The other thing that when I came, and I walked the labs. I walked with my PTA as usual, because I know, they are serious people when they're ready. And when we look at the condition of the labs for a school of the quality of Wolmer's boys, we felt that it was not up to scratch. And therefore we approached Digicel.
The foundation.
The foundation, Digicel Foundation, and today, again, thanks to the proactive nature of the PTA, we were able to refurbish these labs. And finally, the library. I always, if I go into the library and see any student that is not wearing white shirt upstairs, I tell them to come down. That's a special place for the sixth formers. The sixth formers, again, did not have anywhere to do their studies. And I felt that we should find somewhere for them, and therefore the expansion of the refurbishing and expansion of the library, so that the sixth formers could have a special place for them to do their studies.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about sports. Many people have raised a lot of questions, both positively and negatively, about the way the sports programs are handled, and especially with regards to students being brought into the school has been a topic of significance. So tell me a little bit about how you manage that in terms of balancing your requirement to fill a certain quota and your requirement to maintain a certain standard.
Interesting question, and if we look at the performance of the sporting programs over the years, it is second to none. There is only one trophy that we did not win, and that was the Manning Cup. But we have been there twice as finalists, which for me is an excellent achievement. We have won the cricket championships, triple champions, or double champions. That is under 19. We have won the under 16 championships. We have won perennial champions in swimming, perennial champions in water polo. Of interest, I should mention this, is that the lawn tennis, for the first time this year, all three teams, under 14, under 16, and under 19, went to the finals. And we won the under 19 and the under 14, and we run up in the under 16. Perennial urban champions for volleyball. Never quite won it at the national level, but we are an urban school and we fight for that, and we have won it. The championships, the 100th renewal of the Boys and Girls Athletic Championship with the smallest team, 38 students. We won that championship. And you could go on as it relates to what the students have done in the sporting. But there's always that issue of, should students be brought into the school to assist in the performance of those who pass to come to Wolmer's boys. Any administrator, when looking at their team, look at the strengths and the weaknesses, and where you see weaknesses, you try to fill those. Because the team is as strong as its weakest link. And what that does is that it allows Wolmers to look outside and say, can this person assist in making our team better? Also remembering too that Wolmer's Boys School is a community school. It embraces the community. And there's always this talk of Wolmer's being an elite school. And I jump to say that we have adopted Kingston High in terms of looking at how we can help to build them. And therefore, some of the students who came into our programs are students who are coming from schools that don't have the same kind of facilities that we have. So we do that, and we do that within the sporting programs. We also do it for students who are coming from other schools who perform academically well, but not as good, and we also improve them. And a lot of people don't talk about the fact that we taking those students from those schools too. For example, I remember one of our best math students who topped the school came from Ocho High School. So it's not only for the sports that we do it for the academics too, to give those students the ability to do their best. Now, yes, so what we do is that we do taking students to fill these gaps, but it's calculated. It's calculated to the point, and I will say this, and I will say that because it's something that I truly believe in, that when I do this, when I take these students in to supplement or complement what we have, it is calculated. I would never have gone overboard to the point where it would affect the performance of the institution. And that is borne out, and I will speak to that later on, will be borne out by the fact that we're always in the top 10, always the #1 boys school, and doing well academically.
Indeed. So I heard you mention cricket earlier, and I can say that a few of those students this year were top students in the Blue Report.
Absolutely.
So with regards to academic, we've managed to maintain a top 10 ranking over the years. What has been your strategy in terms of managing the academics of the school?
All right, so one of the fundamental things about ensuring that the academic performance of the school is maintained is to ensure that you have the right staff, the quality of the staff. And I must say this, that we are extremely fortunate to have some excellent teachers at this institution. We made some decisions in whether or not we would employ trained teachers or what we call them pre-trained graduates. We made that decision because we felt that the content was important and that we would work on the methodology. And as a result of that, we had intensive staff development. I think the person who has been in charge of that over the years, Mrs. Jones, she has done an excellent job in ensuring that our staff development is of the quality that will ensure that the academic level of the students are maintained. The other thing that accounts to the quality of the academic performance, and I say it all the time at devotions, that I do not worry about the academic performance of the students because the students are naturally bright. What we insist on is the business of discipline and try not to make it erode, because once the erosion of discipline starts, then it's going to affect the academic performance. And we have, over the years, maintained very reasonable, acceptable behavioral standards from the students.
Okay. We would have gone through a series of inspections over the years. We received 5 rating from the National Educational Inspectorate, NEI. Tell us, what do you feel about that rating?
Well, if I was to ask what is my crowning glory, that 5, exceptionally high, is what I'd want to walk away leaving at Wolmer's Boys. Exceptionally high. Just think about it. Across Jamaica, all the boys' schools, the only boys' school who has been rated as exceptionally high is Wolmer's Boys' School. That is not an easy feat. This is something that all of us, all stakeholders, should find joy in. It does not come overnight. And I can tell you that I have worked with some vice principals, Mrs. Rob, Miss Leo, Mr. Oso, those individuals who have over the years set that foundation. Because this is not an overnight. It did not happen overnight. And I've always said, and I specifically point out these vice principals because they have been like the wind beneath my wings. And we should all glorify in this. And this is something that I am extremely happy about. The fact is, when I came to this institution as principal, I was charged by the chairman of the trust, Mr. Milton Samuda, to say, you're taking over a good school. Put the sheen on it. If you were to ask me, did it happen? Resounding yes, I think we did. I think they just, and when you, I kept it by saying, there was an article in the newspaper written by one Tanya Lee. I cut it out, I have it. It's framed, it's in my basement where I hang out. They call it the man cave. When I want to just reflect, I go downstairs and I look at that. It says, the creme de la creme of balanced education, balancing extracurricular with academics, resides at Hero Circle. What better way to put it? In all of Jamaica, in all the schools in Jamaica, when she did her survey for her article, she said the creme de la creme of balancing academics with extracurricular resides at Hero Circle. And that, and I just want to say this, that we are focusing on the sporting activities and the academics, but there are some other aspects of this institution that I'm proud of. National champions in debating. Think about that. A boys' school, national champions in debating, first team to receive the highest score in the island ever. Wolmer's Boys' School. You talk about individuals who have won essay competitions, poster competitions. Those are important aspects of the school that we don't talk about, but it's something that I love and I glorify in this, because apart from the team, there are individual aspects that allows the students to showcase their talent. Right. And I'm extremely happy with where Wolmer's is today. And I know that what we have now, the team that is going to take over this institution, there's no doubt in my mind. Find me anywhere 10 years from now that Wolmer's will only go up. What do young people say? Up? 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 Yes, I believe that the quality of the people who are here can only take it to a higher level. And I'm very, very comfortable and confident that Wolmer's will get better.
Yes, sir. So we spoke about stakeholder groups earlier. You managed to maintain a good rapport with the parents in particular. Why was it so important for you to tap into facilitating this particular group of persons?
You know, I've always said, and I say this all the time, when I was to become principal of Wolmer's Boys, my friends and people who don't know me would call and say, where are you going? Do you know those parents? They are in your face every day. Do you think you can deal with them? And I said, why not? And said, you're going to regret it. 11 years after, I can say this, and I say it all the time, that the best PTA in all of Jamaica is Wolmer's Boys School PTA, and I say it with all sincerity. They're always ready to answer the call. It does not matter what it is. Has it been a perfect ride? Absolutely not. And the beauty about this, it calls you to create systems to make sure it works. Because there are parents who want to be aware of what is happening at all times, and therefore it allows us to create a Tuesday morning meeting where the parents that can just walk in and meet with the principal so that we can talk about whatever issues is happening at the school, things that you don't like, things that you see. As a matter of fact, it was getting to a point where we're just talking about things that they don't like. And they say, this is also about good things too, So if things are commendable, say too.
Right.
But those Tuesday morning meetings, absolutely fantastic, my parents. Some of them are pointed on there, and I understand where they're coming from, and I've always accommodated that. There are some of the parents who do not want to speak in that forum. So I have a Thursday morning where an individual parent can come in and speak to me if there's an issue that they don't want to talk in the public. And I'm glad you asked the question because it just brought back some things. We create a consultation where we call the teachers, we give the teachers what we call office hours, where parents can just walk in and talk to them. Why do you do that? You do that because you care about them, because you know that what they have to offer is good. And therefore for me, that relationship was extremely important for me. It kept you as an administrator on your toes.
Yes.
You know that come Tuesday morning, come Thursday morning, or come office hours, they are going to be there to say, hey, I love this, I don't love this. I remember it led to us creating some individuals who were in charge of the different forms. Can't remember the names of those individuals, but they were in charge of the forms and they could give us the feedback. But it's a PTA that has responded. Whether it is going to be financial or just advice, they responded. And I believe that the PTA can only make the school better. And I say to my friends who were worried about me, no. It was a good relationship. They are demanding people, and that is what is happening with a lot of schools, or a lot of organizations. Let me just say that. Accountability is important. When you believe that you don't have to account, then you can get away. But when you have to account, it will happen. And finally, when I came here, I believe that money is important, and we must spend money on things like instructional materials and blah, blah, blah. And when we were having our functions, I noticed they're spending all kinds of monies on plants and that, all kind of decorations and so on. I was like, what is happening here? But I soon understand. That is one thing I've learned, that standards are important. And if you have a brand like Wolmer's, when you're presenting Wolmer's, you must always be a brand. That was reinforced by my PTA, because if it did not look good, they will not hesitate to say, hey, this can't work. And therefore for me, the best PTA in the entire Jamaica, and I dare say the world.
And I would agree with you, sir. Let's talk a little bit about something that many people would consider to be significant achievement by all three schools. The declaration by the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen, Wolmer's Day, May 21st. What are your thoughts on this?
First thing, I'm glad that it happened just before I left. So I did miss out on it, so I can claim that I contributed. Again, this is something that Wolmerians must take seriously. This is no joke. It's a serious proclamation. Just think about it. In the annals of this country, every day when that date comes around, it is going to be celebrated across Jamaica as Wolmer's Day.
And indeed the world.
Think about it. Thank you very much. It's a significant achievement. And this did not come by chance. It did not come because it's the oldest school. It came about because of excellence. The excellence that came out of the school, the contribution in the products that came from the school, in all sphere of Jamaican life. Wolmerians. What better way to honor that than to make a Wolmer's Day? Just think about it. The envy of all schools, and I know they could go from now until God come. Wolmer's will be the only school because it came because of hard work, dedication, commitment, and seriousness of purpose of the Wolmer's family.
Just to lighten up a little bit,
Yes.
tell us, what was your favorite thing to do at Wolmer's?
My favorite thing to do at Wolmer's?
Yes.
You see, when we go on retreat, and we take off the principal role, and I become a regular ordinary man,
Oh, there.
some serious dancing. Really, I enjoy the camaraderie with my staff. Really enjoyed it. Just the entire the stakeholders, the PTA. I love talking to my PTA, whether it is hard talk or ordinary talk. My students, you know, when you see them, when they start out, like this morning I saw this young man playing his fife and he could hardly move, and I know by the time he gets to sixth form, you won't believe it's the same person. Those things stay in my mind, just to see the gradual development of the students. Look at you, who is interviewing me today. You are so mature, so serious about what you do. When you came here, you were not like that. Those things excite me.
Absolutely. What would you like to say to the Wolmer's community as a farewell wish to the Wolmer's family?
Guard what you have fiercely. Guard it fiercely. We can build something for many years, and it takes one thing to break it down. Guard it with your life. Fight for it. Because the contribution of this school to Jamaica is absolutely important, and we cannot afford to make it slip. And if it does, find ways to get it back. It is that important. Safeguard it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
As I say goodbye to my favorite institution, Wolmer's Boys School, and I'm going to say it again. As I say goodbye to my favorite institution, I want to say thanks to all the stakeholders for making my stay at Wolmer's an excellent one. I really want to say thanks, and I really don't want to single out anybody, but I must single out my student population for being cooperative. 98% of the students are excellent students, and I don't want anybody to miss that. I want to say thanks again to my students for being the students you are. Go out there and make Jamaica great.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Walton Small, 11 years, 2008 to 2019. It has come to an end, and we wish him farewell. Dr. Small, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. My name is Shaquille Johnson, head boy of Wolmer's Boys, 2018-2019. Thank you.